What up, what up, what up? We back like the juggernaut, bitch. This is Alex, Lexus, and Nelson, Mugen, Ketsuke, co-producers, co-CEOs of the New Gaming Order podcast stream. Now, just a little PSA for Nelson. Keep him in your prayers. He literally just got back from the hospital. I don't know, it's strange. New Gaming Order members have been making trips to the hospital this year, and it's not good. So, you know, keep us covered wherever, Christian faith that you're in, whether it be, you know, the Islamic faith, Catholic, whatever, send some good vibes our way. But, I'm going to give Nelson the floor to start his intro, and then we'll get started.
All right, what's up, guys? As Alex was saying, I just recently, a couple hours ago, just got back from the hospital. I had to get my appendix removed, and it sucks. So I am still able to be on the podcast. I'm still able to do stuff. It's just I'm gonna be in bed rest for a month, so I will only be doing voice podcasting. You won't see me stream for a while, so I do apologize for that. But hopefully we can have a good post video of Extreme Rules today.
All right. So, while Nelson is down, you'll see more activity from me. So, hey, Battle Buddies got covered down for one another. So, with that, let's get started. New Gaming Order, we are doing our pretty much review reaction to WWE Extreme Rules pay-per-view that just went off the air about like 15 minutes ago. So we wanted to get it hot off the press, not hard off my chest, aka Brother Noop. Shout out to you. And the rest of the New Gaming Order staff who could not join us tonight. So Nelson, what was the first match? And we'll get right started.
Well, from what I remember from the kickoff show, the first match that I seen was between Adrian Neville and Bad News Barrett.
Oh, that was on the pre-show, right?
Yeah, the kickoff show.
Okay. Now, apparently, Adrian Neville is a hot ticket. If the writers do right by him, and like the way that I started watching on different social networks, the Adrian Neville up and coming through NXT. If they do him justice, and now that he got his first official victory over Wade Barrett, I give Wade Barrett a lot of credit for doing the service, jobbing to Neville, because Wade Barrett was that guy, that NXT guy who was up and coming, and what a way to give back. And to doing that for this guy is gonna be the future. You know what I mean? Like right now, Seth Rollins, they're like, hey, the future. No, this guy is going to be it. I mean, with that whole supernova, looking wizard, funny ear looking thing. But I mean, he looks like a stacked He-Man. You know what I mean? And he can handle business in the ring. So hold on, let me check the audio levels. So I mean, the match was a typical match. I mean, Neville in typical Neville style did his thing. But Nelson, what were your thoughts on that match?
Well, of course, Adrian Neville is a very phenomenal superstar. He usually tends to take his ability and make the other superstar have to work more every time when he performs in ring, and that's good because there's not many wrestlers right now that on like that physical level, such as a Seth Rollins when he actually is performing, such as of Adrian Neville or what the hell is this guy's name? The guy from NXT, the one that I showed you. Oh God, yo. Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Finn Balor and all those other guys.
When are those guys coming up to main roster?
Well, Finn Balor hasn't been in NXT for longer than a year yet. Neither has Hideo Itami. So we're going to have to wait for them. But so far, Adrian Neville is I think, 2-time NXT champion.
Yeah.
And now he's getting his moment on actual pay-per-view and Raw status. And his first official win, in my opinion, was against Bad News Barrett, which is a big name in the WWE as a heel.
Yeah.
So he did really good outdoing everything as normal, making the crowd go crazy
Mhm.
and hitting his ridiculous, I think, what does he call it? Red arrow, the finisher
J-
that he does.
Yeah, freaking
Yeah.
corkscrew, freaking. Oh my god, that's just. Every time I see that move, it doesn't get old. And with the 5 star frog splash that you had D'Lo Brown, Rob Van Dam, and Eddie Guerrero. I mean, when you see him execute that move, the flash bulbs. That's just ridiculous, man. I mean, I foresee my premonition for him. He's gonna have a sick WrestleMania moment someday. I can't wait to see it. It's gonna be some good stuff. So I mean, overall, it's good that now he got his victory. So keep the momentum. Don't make it easy for him. Have him grind, earn it. You don't want to have another mishandling like the whole Roman Reigns issue. So I mean,
Well,
if
they're
done right.
making it seem like every match that he has is a close one.
Mhm. Like getting the struggle and everything. All right.
Yeah.
A- And I pardon the music. Something happened with the Ken theme, but it's all good. But with that, I think Adrian Neville is on his way. Slow, don't rush it because, like again, the mishandling with Roman Reigns, the fans aren't treating Roman Reigns fairly because due to the fact that it's the writers, the WWE trying to push out a new product, and it's just the fans will reject it. Let Neville grow on some other folks, and he'll be all right. As long as they don't rush it. Good things, you got to be patient. And if done right, it's going to be a good thing for Adrian Neville's career. I look forward to seeing some good things from him. All right, so Nelson, what was the next match?
The next match, if I can remember clearly, was between Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus.
Now, New Game in Order. All I gotta say is unfreaking believable. Now, my thing with Sheamus, with the whole thing, you see, Sheamus succeeds where John Cena fails. Now, Sheamus is, that guy that goes around doing the anti-bullying campaigns and all that good stuff, but yet he'll go heel and work it well. And I've always said that Sheamus is, I think, a better heel than he is a face. When he
Yeah.
was a face, he was funny. You know what I mean? But as a heel, it's like, man, you know what? When Sheamus debuted, that's what he was. So I think that Sheamus's capacity to go back and forth between the two and still be that advocate for anti-bullying should be something that Cena needs to look at and say, hey, if it works for Sheamus, why not Cena? But that's just my opinion on just the character. But the match itself was pretty intense. It was beast, and anyone who gets in the ring with Dolph Ziggler, you're gonna get a good match because Ziggler is just so that athletic and he's just performed so well. Like later on when you get Neville who earns his status, Ziggler and Neville for like a title match, you're gonna see them pushing the bar. So having Sheamus after a period of time, I think this is his first pay-per-view back, right? Sheamus is
Yeah.
since his
Yeah.
injury, returning from injury, and I think the match, for what it was pretty interesting. Oh, nasty bro kicks and whatnot. But the most interesting portion of the match was the end of the match where Dolph Ziggler wins, and it wasn't controversial, but it's Sheamus wasn't prepared. He's like, "What the hell? I got pinned," and the look on his face was like unbelievable. And you have Dolph Ziggler rubbing it in where he's doing like ravishing Rick Rude, and he's just like gyrating his hips and he's pulling down his tights or whatever, and Sheamus didn't want to do it, and that's what he agreed to, and he didn't want to kiss his arse, but I'm gonna let Nelson talk about the conclusion, and then I'll give my 2 cents. But Nelson, your feedback on the match and what happened at the end.
As what you mentioned before, Dolph Ziggler is one of those other guys that can make any wrestler perform at their best like they normally did with the Dolph Ziggler versus Daniel Bryan. Those matches were very outstanding, and for Sheamus to lose the way he did was like it was bound to happen based on story,
Hmm.
with the roll up pin and stuff like that. Ziggler didn't even use the zigzag on him and
Yeah, that
stuff
was
like that.
disappointing. Yeah.
But like I said, the way how the match ended, it was for like the reasoning of Sheamus to give him a low blow and basically taunt him even further. And then he basically shoved his head right up his ass and it was like, yeah, you know what, fuck that, blah, blah, blah. And, whatever. Apparently, Edgy X Scope says that Sheamus is a baby.
Well, a shout out to our viewer, and the thing with Sheamus, he can sell a good heel angle well, and yeah, the roll up, like you couldn't have Sheamus react like that off of a clean victory, or it was a clean victory, but like a flat out zigzag or a super kick, or I mean, you had to do it in such a way where it's like, nah, man, nah, man, no, no, I want a rematch, and he was complaining, running around, trying to, you know, um, you know, argue with the ref and whatnot, and the look on Sheamus' face was priceless. But you know, Sheamus agreed to it. He didn't want to kiss his ass, and you know, Dolph Ziggler pulled his tights up, like gave himself a wedgie. And he's just like, "Go ahead." Sheamus is on his knees, and then while he was behind, Dolph Ziggler gives him a low blow, and then he pulls the mic. He's just like, "Yeah, somebody's gonna kiss my ass or whatever." He's just like, I kept my word." So Sheamus pulls his tights up and buries Dolph Ziggler's face in his right butt cheek, and he was just laying there like unbelievable. Now, when it happened, I said, "Damn, Sheamus is such an a-hole." But he's that a-hole. You gotta watch him to see what he's gonna do next. You know, I think it was brilliant. They did it right. You know what I mean? Dolph Ziggler went away with the win, but Sheamus didn't kind of get punked as the heel. You know what I mean? So this feud, I see it continuing going forward. And we'll take it from there. But to interject, um, before we forget, Daniel Bryan was pulled. His match was pulled from the pay-per-view because he's injured again. Now, I wanted to add this 2 cents before I go forward. This is why, and this that okay. Let me not be all over the place. This is why WWE didn't put the title back on Daniel Bryan, because now it's starting to look like he's injury prone, right? So in their minds, they're like, okay, that's where the whole Roman Reigns angle came from. They're like, at least we have a backup. That's what Roman Reigns was, the backup plan, you know. And look what happened. He missed the pay per view, and it's unfortunate. It's almost like the same time last year or the year that he got injured. It's like, oh, dude, he's out, and it's an unfortunate circumstance. So please, don't crucify Roman Reigns because of the Daniel Bryan thing any longer. Because look at what happened. He's not here, But Nelson, your thoughts on that?
With the whole Daniel Bryan thing, yeah, I mean, it's just kind of weird that he's injured again. Also, the Usos are injured as well. If you guys haven't noticed, one of the Uso brothers is injured. That's why you don't see them around and you see Naomi more. But Daniel Bryan, I don't know, it's a little weird that how he has another championship and he at a pay-per-view event he's not able to defend it because of due to his injury. I'm wondering if this is like a coincidence that he tries to force it upon himself to wrestle, but he's not medically clear to be able to do the normal things that he's able to do in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes to question if he's doing this with the disobey order of the medical staff and the
Mm-hmm.
WWE, or is he getting like some bullshit excuse from a different doctor outside of the company to clear him so Triple H can still keep paying him?
It's unfortunate. Daniel Bryan should just get healthy and come back strong. I wanted to see him perform tonight. That's unfortunate, but it's what it is. But WWE did a clever thing where with the Chicago street fight with Dean Ambrose and Harper, they spread it out into segments to kind of, work with that. But with that, without going all over the place, the next match in the order of the fight card, Nelson.
One before anything, do you have the game title as WWE 2K15?
I don't remember. You know what? I didn't even get into the page. I forgot all about that. So let
Yeah,
me.
because not that many people know that we're doing this because it says on your knees play.
Alrighty, I'm
And
going into it right now. So while you're doing that, you can start the next match breakdown, and I'll just have that edited. Apologies for
okay.
that.
The next match in the card was the New Day versus Cesaro and Tyson
Oh
Kidd for the
my God.
WWE Tag Team Championship.
Uh huh.
That was a very awkward match because you have a team where they're very displeased by the crowd, and the crowd does not give two shits about the New Day. I mean, for Christ's sakes, they're chanting "New Day sucks," and they go
Yeah.
along with the clap.
Yeah.
You know,
I think WWE is trolling the audience because it's like, oh yeah, New Day sucks. No, we got something for you. Yeah, but I don't want to spoil the ending. But it's
yeah,
almost as
but
if they're trying to play the good heel. You know what I mean? Like now, New Day is cheating and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, come on now, you know. But yeah, continue, Nelson.
but don't get me wrong. The match in itself was kind of carried from Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. They was kind of like bringing the match to its peak. Because the New Day, to be honest with you, with them working together like this is not a good image. Kofi Kingston was better by himself
Mhm.
as a face, and Big E was better as a heel by himself. And mind you, as what Shinwa was saying offline, that Xavier Woods can wrestle, but they're not using him properly. And right now, he's irrelevant. That's why he's not really wrestling for the tag team championships
Yeah.
when that match had actually happened. But
Mhm.
I
Oh,
have to
Nelson,
say,
I have to ask you, how do I unhost the NGOX channel while we're chatting?
you hit forward slash
Mhm.
and type in unhost and hit enter.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Um, so yeah, so the match basically was outperformed with Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. I'm actually surprised due to all the years that Tyson Kidd has been gone for his injury, and he reworked his way back up from NXT and came back on the main roster recently with his wife Natalia. He's actually a really good wrestler with Cesaro. I mean, they have great chemistry together,
Yeah.
implementing both of their moves together when he does the giant swing into the drop kick in the face,
Mhm.
doing the top rope moves. They're being acrobatic. Even though they have like this fuck you personality, the crowd is eating the shit up, you know? And
Mhm.
that's a really really good look. But again, I don't want to spoil the conclusion because I want you to say your 2 cents and then you discuss about the conclusion.
All right. WWE. All right. So now I got it fixed, Nelson. All right. Now the New Day versus Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. Now, one thing I'll say, Kofi Kingston, excellent performer. Big E for a big guy. I mean, he was the biggest guy in that match. So I think that for what it was, if you take away the gimmicks, I think it was a decent match. Aside from the whole cheating and whatnot, but Cesaro, his display of strength is phenomenal. I mean, hell, picking up Big E Langston like that, shh. Or Big E, correction. Um, I think that Tyson Kidd and Antonio and Cesaro, I didn't give them enough credit when they first got the titles because I felt that you just threw two guys together and just say, hey, here's a tag team. But over time, you're mixing the giant swing into the drop kick or what do they call it? Sudden stop or full stop something. I mean,
I
it's
think it's full stop.
yeah. I mean, it's that's clever and the chemistry between two technical wrestlers like that, or WWE corporate likes to call them superstars. To me, they're freaking wrestlers. I don't care what anybody says, but You get in there. I mean, Cesaro and Tyson Kidd served their purpose. They did a good job. I didn't like the way that they lost the titles. All right. Now, as you notice, New Day has been getting booed. If people are like New Day sucks or whatever, and I think WWE is the reality era that Triple H had revealed to Stone Cold Steve Austin on his last podcast before they switched to Chris Jericho, that this is the reality era. You know, like whatever's going on with Twitter, social media, and how the crowd is reacting, they're gonna write the story around that. So with that, they're seeing that the New Day is not getting the response. They're supposed to be the anti-Shield. Like, hey, it's a new day, stay positive, doing this and that, blah, blah, blah. And the crowd is just, crucifying these folks. And their characters are slowly starting to do heel-like things. For instance, Xavier Woods distracted the referee, you know what I mean, and just enough to, gain the victory for the New Day. And it's just like, what the heck? I mean, even how they got the opportunity to get the tag team title shot. I mean, it just... WWE, they were like, just like CM Punk said in one of his promos, in your face jerks, stomping us out with their oppressive boots. And it's just like, okay, hey, you don't like New Day? Oh, we're going to make them your champion. We're going to roll with this. So I think WWE corporate and the writers like to make the heel champions because it's like you can't wait to see them lose it. So that's the only reason why the New Day was victorious at Extreme Rules. Yeah. Now, Edgy Scope says horrible tag team New Day. Like, what the fuck? It honestly, it's Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Biggie, separate them. But you know what? I think that they got thrown together because on the writing side, they don't know what to do with them. And I foresee that these guys get let go from the company just like 3MB. Because, you see, Jinder Mahal, Drew McIntyre, and actually only those two. The other ones is still there, you know what I mean? Folks getting... It's just... I don't know. But it's the reality era. WWE wanted to be trolls, and they're like, hey, in your face, they're your champions now. So, it's what it is. So, Nelson, if you want to wrap up that, book in that, and then we can go into the next match.
Okay, I would just like to mention on another comment that Edgy Scopes has mentioned. A bunch of the superstars are being misused. You're 100% correct. I wish they was more used like how they are in NXT when they're able to fully 100% showcase their talent in the ring, and it will be better results like viewership and everything because these dudes are doing crazy in-ring ability stuff. Mm-hmm. And there's not much that we see from the Raw or SmackDown side of things because, again, they have their signature moves, they do their finishers, they have their signature taunts. It's a little fake ass gimmick that they have to put on, and it's just really unfortunate that the New Day won the tag team championship, which I think was very stupid, despite the fact that out of all the work that Cesaro and Tyson Kidd has done in the match, they still came out.
And you know what? Like I said, I'll be the first one to say I was wrong to not give those two a chance, because I was just like, man, I just didn't feel that they had enough time as a tag team together. I missed the days of the Road Warriors or Legion of Doom, Demolition, the Nasty Boys. I'm missing that. You know what I mean? Like tag teams that come out in outfits like they're in sync. You know what I mean? And it just, I don't know. I didn't give them a chance, and then when they started to grow on me, they took their momentum away. So hopefully this, with the Usos taking time for, I think it's Jimmy or Jay. I forget. I think it's Jimmy who was injured.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, hey, the Usos are out for a minute. Grow another tag team. You got the Lucha Dragons. Like, I don't want you to want them to push them too fast, but I mean, hell, like what happened with the Ascension? I mean, I know that their mic skills aren't all that great, or they're studying their poem rolls or whatever, but how are they gonna get better unless you forge them in that fire? You gotta let them make mistakes. You let them stutter and let the fans mess with them. You know what I mean? I just, you don't have teams like the Hardy Boys anymore, or any. I mean, it's just a lot of Edge and Christian. You just need to fix that whole tag team division. And I will give Triple H credit. A lot of people hate this man, but responsible for NXT and single-handedly saying, hey, you know what? We got to bring prestige back to the tag team division. So do it right and get the title off the New Day. Hopefully it won't last that long, their title reign. So that's all I got to say about that. So,
Okay.
Next match.
So now the next match that we're gonna. Oh my god, I'm losing my voice. This is not good. The next match is between Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper in a Chicago street fight. Now, mind you, this match was taking place before the Dolph Ziggler match and the Tag Team Championship match, but apparently the direction that they went in was they put themselves in a car and they drove out the arena to extend the gap between the Daniel Bryan match that's supposed to have occurred, and they allowed the other two matches to go in front of them, which was a pretty interesting, a pretty interesting outlook. And then they came back, interrupted the New Day's winning ceremony with the female announcer. I can't remember her name. But then also they came in, the match was still going in progress, and I honestly think that that the match turned out pretty well.
It was
In my
entertaining.
opinion, it was really good.
I would say it was on par with the Rowdy Piper versus Goldust street fight of many years ago. And those of you who know which street fight I'm talking about, man, that was a serious street fight. It was the most entertaining one in WWE history in my mind. You know what I mean? So, I'll probably stick that in the description because, man, Piper and Goldust sold that street fight like nobody's business. So I would say that Dean Ambrose, I like his character. Luke Harper, that's a good opponent for him to kind of say, hey, you know what? He's not a title holder right now, and Dean Ambrose is like, if there was ECW that was still around, I could see Luke Harper and Dean Ambrose being in ECW and thriving. So I think it was a cool match for what it was. It was, I wouldn't say it was just average. I think they pushed the bar, similar to what happened with the IC title ladder match at WrestleMania. I mean, those two. I mean, Luke Harper freaking hyper bombed them through the damn ladder. It's like, oh, I got fucked up, like, But overall, I gave it a B plus. It was very entertaining, and whenever you got Dean Ambrose in the ring, you're gonna see some fun stuff. All right, so Nelson, you got the floor.
With my conclusion with that, it was a good match, as I said overall. And it couldn't have ended better in any other way. It's just I would like to see more out of Luke Harper because of the fact that when he was with oh boy,
What, Bray Wyatt?
the other Bray Wyatt and the other guy
Rowan.
Rowan, Eric Rowan,
Mhm.
he was actually a really good wrestler, and these guys are really technical when you let them free and loose.
Mhm.
But again, they're pushing Luke Harper back down. They're making him lose match again because he's a big guy. The big people always got to lose a lot more than win a lot more. It's just like the thing, Big Show's doing the same thing. He won a lot in his career now. He has to take a lot of losses because technically, if you put a big dude against a scrawny dude, what's going to happen? You obviously know the big dude's going to win. So,
But those laws have been defied in martial arts, and
well, that's martial arts. That's something that's very understandable.
yeah.
And
This is
pleasable.
fantasy.
But
It's all
yeah,
at the whim
you're
of the
putting
writers.
this is a soap opera at its best.
Mhm.
So things will happen according to the writers and according to how corporate sees the opposing matches as it goes on in in progress, because it's not the first time before where, let's say for an example, if Vince McMahon actually really wanted to, Cesaro and Tyson Kidd could have retained the titles, but I
Mhm.
guess he wanted a new direction to see what would happen if the crowd has new tag team champions to a team that they discuss the most.
Mhm.
So things do happen on the fly, but I really do think that was probably, I would say, one of the top matches of the night, and it's definitely a good thing. I would like to see more Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper's rivalry kick up more.
But you don't want to beat up a good thing too much. You know what I mean? Like
No,
you
like
know.
pay-per-view kind of status is not like every Monday, every
Yeah.
Thursday. Like every pay-per-view, they use like, what, let's just go at it. Let's do a chain match or a steel cage match or an inferno match.
Mhm.
Spice this shit up.
Oh, what the heck? No, no, no comment. I was gonna make a joke, but I'll leave that for another day. All right. So what's the next match on the card, Nelson?
The next match will be the U.S. Championship between John Cena and Rusev in a Russian chain match.
Now, new game in order. I'm gonna tell on myself. Part of this match bored me, and I fell asleep. And I was snoring on the Xbox Live mic, and Shinor was yelling at me. He's just like, "Go to sleep, man." I'm like, and plus I was in PA today at a motorcycle gathering, and I was just beat up, man. That was like an hour and a half ride down and an hour and a half back. So with that, I mean, you gotta. If somebody's tired or they're trying to watch a pay per view after a long day, and it just it was boring. It was boring until the end. I would say that Cena pulling the. I'm not gonna call it the attitude adjuster. I still remember it as the FU. All right, so they Rusev and John Cena. The scenario is they both had hit the corners that they needed and only needed one left to win the match. So you see him in the ring tussling and trying to pull. And I remember I saw inside the ropes. Make sure you check those guys that website out because I read a lot of what ifs and what WWE should do with characters. And they said they have to keep Rusev strong. They have to make him look strong. You know what I mean? You can't have Cena flat out deck him, and win the match because all that year build up, making him undefeated and all that, and then bam, Cena is already 38 years old. It's evident he's in the twilight of his career, and you know Cena did all that there's to do with the company, and Rusev is still up and coming. You know, but based on the conclusion of the match, I'm gonna let Nelson get his part first, and then I'll say my piece. But yeah, they need to
Um,
keep Rusev strong going forward. So Nelson, your thoughts?
I honestly just found the match a little weird because as you said, it was kind of boring. It was just like a tussle match,
Yeah.
and you had moments where Rusev was actually strong in the match, but it's like what you've been saying. John Cena is still one of the faces. I'm not saying the face because
Mhm.
there's new talent taking over. So he's one of the faces of the WWE company. So he feels in his mind that he still has to prevail no matter what circumstances it might be, whether Rusev hasn't lost a match within a year
Mhm.
or just because like he's like the new modern age Superman. I don't get it. Like Cena, honestly, in my opinion, should have lost this match
Mhm.
to Rusev, and Rusev will get more respect because Rusev is great as a heel, but his promo and his talking is not so on point yet because
Mhm.
of the fact that he had Lana helping him and coaching him
Yeah, and she's not
throughout
talking
that
as much
time.
anymore. She's not talking that much
Mm,
anymore, and her being his mouthpiece. Pause. No, no, no pun intended. Her being his mouthpiece, like the Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar thing, worked. It made you hate Rusev, like his character, and then everything that seems to be working for a character, it's like somebody is just wanting to take that away. So I don't know what's going on with the writers, man, but they got to keep Rusev looking strong. Super Cena. All right, edgy. Responding to your comment there, but Nelson, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
What the last thing I want to say about the match is like you gotta understand when John Cena has nothing else to do in his match, and I'm pretty sure everyone else can agree on me, whether if you're watching live on Twitch or whether you'll see the pre-recording on YouTube. Cena, when he's back down to a corner and the his opponent is like literally one-siding him, he only has two things to do. Either
Power up.
the stupid submission move that he does,
The STFU.
the STFU, or the fucking attitude adjustment. I find that kind of annoying because Cena doesn't need to hit his opponent. He doesn't need to stagger them. He doesn't need to weaken them down. He just picks them up. Oh, you're automatically weak. You went from 100 to 0 in
Mhm.
2 seconds, and then you lose the match.
Mhm.
Like, honestly, like, who in their right fucking mind would be destroying you
Mhm.
the entire match, and all of a sudden, ah, attitude adjustment, Cena wins.
He's a walking cartoon. It looks like he's just like Masters of the Universe, and He-Man pulled out his sword and says, "By the power of Grayskull," and he's just like, I mean, uh, his time will come. I don't hate Cena by any means. I respect his work ethic in the sense that he knows his limitations. He's a lifter. He's a you know that's what he is. He's not Daniel Bryan. He's not freaking Bret Hart types or Benoit type. He admitted it and he accepts it, and he works with what he has. You know, but I think that this is the third time, right, that he and Rusev faced off. The first match, Cena lost to Rusev. Then WrestleMania, he defeated Rusev. This one, Rusev should have beat him, and then it should be like a back and forth, back and forth. You know, but I mean, Rusev just flat out got beat out by the attitude or the FU. You know what I mean? And he kicked out of how many at WrestleMania? I mean, come on,
Yeah.
come on. So I think that writers get it together. You gotta make it believable. Make it like okay, because some of the kids who don't understand that it's scripted, they're gonna think that oh yeah, make it believable. That's all I got to say about that. Stone Cold style.
Also, if you guys haven't noticed, at the end of the match, Rusev was talking in Russian. Of course, it doesn't really mean anything because it's technically jib to some people that don't even care about Russian. But apparently, what he was saying to Lana is, "I can't believe it. You almost cost me the match. You sitting out there, we're doing you or whatever. Now I want you to go talk to the authority and fix this." So apparently, she went into the authorities room, and then it ended the clip right there. So
Hmm.
something must be going on now where Rusev probably either on Monday or Thursday he's gonna make another promo with Cena trying to rectify his loss.
And they did because I don't know. You probably went to the bathroom or so, but the next match, Rusev John Cena, is an I Quit match. And I guess his thing is like, oh, how fitting, you know, an I Quit match because just your country and this and that, that angle is getting kind of old. And because I'm a soldier, it's starting to piss me off. I don't want to hear that shit anymore. It's like, okay, that angle, that feud, whatever. If that's all Rusev has, that's gonna get old. It's gonna get old, Just I don't know. He might need some rebranding or something, but we'll see. I mean, just like the New Day, you need something new. I don't like it anymore. You know what I mean? Jack Swagger fell to him. Hell, you know what? Triple H, you're wrong for not bringing Kurt Angle back because what a match that would be. Rusev versus Kurt Angle. Pfft. The Olympic gold medalist versus the Iron Russian Rusev. I think that would be freaking awesome.
Apparently,
Edgy,
you
yeah, yeah.
mentioned,
We know that Lana and Rusev are an item in real life. That's I think that's common news, right, Nelson?
yeah, it is.
Okay. So all right. So next match.
Oh man. My stomach. The next match is the Divas Championship between Nikki Bella versus Naomi.
Oh, okay. This match, I wanted to point out that Naomi ditched the Funkadactyl Funkasaurus theme song. She has a new theme. She's coming out with a new attitude. You know, she's more aggressive. She's the heel, or she came out with this new attitude or whatever, and it looked like it backfired because now they're cheering for the Bellas. And it's like, okay, was that the intended purpose? You know, and we know that Naomi is her talent, her Alicia Fox and a couple others. They are very talented, but you will not really see that, because of the way that the booking goes. But okay, you have Naomi beating, Brie Bella, or not Brie. I'm, I'm tired. Forgive me, but defeating the Bella like twice, and then in this match, I don't know. I'm Nelson. I'm gonna let you talk on this match.
Basically this match was what we call a pushover.
Hmm.
And what is that means is like at first it's supposed to make it seem like Naomi is actually dominant in the match, which actually she was like
Yes,
momentarily. And all of a sudden it's like her new gimmick and her new attitude. Not many people are liking it because
that's
they
not
loved
her.
her. They loved her when she was a face. She's married to Jay Uso, and she's known for coming out to be a hype person, not a downer.
Hmm.
So for the match to go on the way it did, and for Brie to get her revenge and fucking super kick the shit out of Naomi,
Hmm.
for Nikki Bella to do the backbreaker on her to end the match was kind of fitting because that's what happens when you get too arrogant and too cocky, thinking like you're gonna push everyone around and try to be the dominant one. Where instead now you made the new look drawn upon the Bellas, and now they're a face again due
Yeah,
to that.
yeah. I think that they went about Naomi's character rebranding in the wrong way. I think now because of the reality era, where the writers have to scramble and they are going with the crowd, and it's just oof. I think that there should have been a title change tonight. Um, Nikki Bella has had the title for too long. You know what I mean? And Paige just got removed from the title picture altogether. I think, and Edgy is just like, oh, the Divas are a waste of time. Reading the chat. Um, I like to see the women get mix it up. Like I want to see Ric Flair's daughter make it to main roster. You know what I mean? Like start and with their stories, give them the same kind of attention that the male stories are getting. You know what I mean? Like stretch it out, build it up, bring it back to the Fabulous Moolah era or the Alundra Blaze, Lita, Trish Stratus. Like
But it's not that elaborate no more, Alex, despite you saying that, is because of the fact that there's not many divas on the roster
well, bring up
anymore.
bring up the NXT ones. You know what I mean? And then hell,
Well,
you're
there's
about to do
only,
Tough Enough on
let's see, you
USA.
have you have the Bellas, so that's two females, right?
Mhm.
You have Naomi, you
Mhm.
have Paige, that's four. You have Natalia, that's five.
Mhm.
You have Alicia Fox, which looks good by the way. She looks a lot better than what she did like 5 years ago.
Mhm.
You
Yeah, wait,
have
Barrett was getting it in. Matter of
right.
fact.
You have Cameron, which is the bi girl, kind of
Mhm.
prissy ass attitude. You have Summer Rae. You have the Spanish girl that was with Fandango,
Uh huh.
and you have like one more diva that's on the active roster. So that's 10 women
Mhm.
on Raw and SmackDown combined. Only four of them are being used.
That's the wrong answer. The writers can do more, and not only that, when they're complaining and saying, "Oh, we're having trouble writing for 3 hours on Raw," and then you got people sitting on the sideline. Whose fault is that? Like they're not utilizing their all of their talent properly. You know, and they're getting the feedback. People are sending this stuff to them on Twitter. Start listening to the fucking fans, man. Like they tell you what they want, and despite some of the unreasonable stuff like the Roman Reigns things, but just WWE has to better forecast what they're doing with their non-used talent or underutilizing their talent. So that's
Yeah,
all I got to say about that.
that is true. And thank you for the correction, Rosa.
Oh
We
yes,
do
yes.
appreciate it.
All right. So moving on from the Divas match.
He says we need Ryder. Zack Ryder? No. Zack Ryder is done, dude. The next match is Roman Reigns versus The Big Show in the Last Man Standing match.
Hmm. Interesting. 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 Now, again, I dozed off at the beginning of this match. Even the crowd was very vocal in saying this is boring, or they're chanting boring, boring. And I guess Roman Reigns was like, me in a boring match? He took it to the next level. He saved his super meter and did three crazy things where he speared Big Show through the the protective barrier. He freaking I think he speared Big Show on like he ran up on the stairs and ran up on the announce table, speared Big Show on the Spanish announce table and fell down on him. You know, I mean, I think Roman Reigns showed in this match he has potential. You know what I mean? Give the guy a chance. I mean, he'll develop with time. I guess that some of the limitations were apparent when they were trying to shoehorn him into the limelight. You know, but I think that this setback with him not getting the title at WrestleMania is working for him. You know, you didn't hear as many boos. Actually, I didn't hear any tonight for Roman Reigns, and I think that he's gonna be all right with time. And he listened to the crowd. It was getting boring. The pace of the match got slow, and he picked it up. He's like, "Oh, f this. I'm gonna earn my pay," you know. But I'll let Nelson go with the conclusion and his thoughts on that match.
Well, the my thoughts on it was a pretty slow match at first, as Alex brought up, and it kind of picked up a little bit where Big Show was like wrecking him with like the punch, the knockout punch, the choke slam, throwing him through the table, Big Show going through the table. It was like mixed match back and forth, like fighting. That's when the match really started to kick up.
Yeah, Big
And
Show
Roman
KO
Reigns,
punched him after bringing in the two tables, you know,
mm,
and Roman Reigns thought he was gonna do something like, oh, he's like, sit down. What the heck?
exactly. And
Mhm.
then Roman Reigns came in with the first spear in the ring. Big Show got up and rolled out. Second spear is right next to the timekeeper's box, and he knocked down the wall.
Mhm.
And then the third and final time is he speared him right off of this freaking regular announcer table into the Spanish commentating table
Yeah.
and fell flat on his ass. And then Roman Reigns trying to act like the table's mad heavy to lift up. But remind you guys, it's only like 20 pounds of fucking hard plastic.
Why you hate
And he
Nelson? What?
because it's funny. I love it. I love it when these big, heavy ass wrestlers are struggling to pick up a table, but then you
They
have
gotta
niggas
make
like
it.
Brock.
They gotta
Nah,
sell it though.
but then you have niggas like Brock Lesnar that fucking just does it in 2 seconds. Like, come on.
It's Suplex City though. That's it is what it is.
And then
But
to
the crowd
top it
did
off,
respond to what Roman Reigns did to end the match. They're like, holy shit, holy shit. You know, if you didn't get to see the pay per view, you'll like that. You know, the ending or the ending moments of the Big Show and Roman Reigns thing. So
mhm.
continue, Nelson. My bad.
And then to put the final topping on the fucking match, he ends up throwing the table on him and pushing down with force the table on the Big
He
Show so
stood
he
on it, I
can't get
think,
up. Yeah, I think he did, and
for
he
the 10
forced the
count.
weight. He forced it so the Big Show couldn't get up, and Roman Reigns will win the match instantly.
Yeah, I think that guys like the Big Show, and this is a big, sticking it to Demizzle in terms of he's like, oh, Undertaker should retire, blah blah blah. Like, hey, if the guy is healthy, he does it once a year, it's whatever. But Big Show, he's on TV like every week, right? That's a
Mhm.
slot that a new NXT guy, bump Big Show off to a different role. Because, for folks to say retire, retire, that's messed up. Don't. That's this guy's livelihood. He may serve as a something different, like a road agent or something in the background, But yeah, Big Show needs to step aside and let some new blood get up in there. So that's just my opinion. But overall, I think that match was pretty cool towards the end. I think Roman Reigns saved it at the end. So I don't know if you agree with that, Nelson.
I mean, Roman Reigns did make it look more lively in the end of the match. I mean, it could have went either way. I mean, oh, excuse me.
Hmm.
It could have either been Roman Reigns spearing
Yeah.
the Big Show or the commentator, or it could have been the Big Show choke slamming him through the table. Could have
Yeah.
went either way.
Well, Big Show did chokeslam Roman Reigns through two tables on the outside by the ramp, and I was like, "Ooh, I don't think he's getting up from that one." But well sold, well played with that. There was some highlights in that match, some good stuff that happened. So I think it was properly placed in the pay-per-view right before the championship match, which
Hmm.
we're gonna go into next. But I'm gonna let Nelson open up with that, and you got the floor.
Well, I want to just bring up something. Let's see, hold on. It earned the number one spot for me. That's what Edgy says. You think that was like the number one match of
Oh,
the?
the Roman Reigns Big Show.
Yeah.
Okay, I can say it was up there with the championship match. And then the Adrian Neville, um, uh, Bullhammer. I'm sorry, I'm tired. I have Wade Barrett or Bad News Barrett. I got some bad news. All right, so go ahead,
And
Nelson.
then apparently something happened in my absence when I was using the bathroom again due to my appendix being removed. Medicine tends to make me use the bathroom. Apparently, Ryback had a little confrontation with Bo Dallas.
Oh yes, I saw that in its entirety. Um, Bo Dallas comes out and he's doing his thing, and you know what? When Bo Dallas lets his, I guess, facial hair grow, he looks like his brother. Freaking. You know what? Bo Dallas should have joined the Wyatt family. I think that would have been a good angle for him. But this Bo Leave thing, it's like right Axelmania or whatever with Curtis Axel. But anyway, Bo Dallas comes out. He's dissing Chicago, or whatever, and Ryback's music cues up. Ryback comes out, and Bo Dallas attacks Ryback. Like he grew some kahunas the size of grapefruits, and I thought that was entertaining. It's like this dude, he dropped the mic and he's hitting on Ryback. So Ryback obviously, got the better of him. Meat hook clothesline, shell shock in the summary, and I think that was just a filler to get the championship match in order for the steel cage. So I thought it was funny as hell. Ryback is too much. I think that it's a good thing when he comes out, destroys somebody, and walks off because they're restoring what Ryback was when he first debuted. Because when they put him up against CM Punk and took away Ryback's undefeated streak, and then they turned Ryback heel just to face Cena. Like he lost a whole lot of momentum there, and I'm glad that Ryback is in with the crowd. He's over with the crowd again. You know what I mean? Keep doing little segments like this. Build him back up. You know what I mean? And take it from there. So that's what that segment was excellent. It served to really help Ryback, and Bo Dallas. Hey, it cements him as being that annoying little brother that you don't want to hear. Like Bo, leave. Believe that you're getting your ass kicked. End of story. That's all I got to say about that. Stone Cold style.
Apparently Slinky Jim said that the Lucha Dragons in a cage match maybe
Against what? The New Day?
against anyone, I guess.
Yeah, because man, that little Lucha Dragon man, he's kicking ass, bro. I see him as probably outdoing Rey Mysterio, bro. He looked like he got he got it. He got it. So we'll see. But yeah. So Nelson, segue into the championship match.
Okay, that match is between Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins in a steel cage match for the title, and Kane was
The
the gatekeeper.
gatekeeper. Mm.
The match honestly went well. In I say the first 15 minutes, it went
Mhm.
really well because it basically showed that Randy Orton has more in-ring ability than people may have
Give
thought
him
that he
credit.
had.
Yeah. Uh.
And for him to come out and do some of the things that he was able to do, along with Seth Rollins, is on some crazy level.
Mhm.
And then it kind of got stale near the end where they started relying on the door to get out.
Mhm.
Kane and J&J Security started to get involved, and
Yeah.
it started to become a typical "fuck you" match to the crowd. And then Randy Orton got his little hits in
Mhm.
and whatnot, and apparently, what shocked a lot of people, hmm, what shocked a lot of people is that Randy Orton made it seem like he was about to do the RKO, but instead he does the pedigree.
Yeah, that was a big middle finger to Triple H. I like that. That was a good thingy. You know. And I'm thinking like, oh, dude, what are you about to do? The RKO? You about to get disqualified? What the hell? But you see, that's messed up because the authority, well, J&J Security and Kane getting involved was a violation of the stipulation that Randy Orton agreed to. You know what I mean? So they violated that, but then yet, he couldn't use the RKO still, but they violated the other condition of the contract. That's bullshit. I think that's what I'm saying with the writing. I mean, if the referee didn't see it and he hit Rollins with the RKO, I think that would have been fair. But that I just wanted to interject. But continue, Nelson.
And then after the pedigree, of course, he started laughing when he kicked out because he thought it was funny to do like an authority finisher move on Seth Rollins. And then as became apparent, Kane decided to put his 2 cents in the match, and he started hitting on Randy Orton and all of
Hitting
that.
on Randy
Trying
Orton.
to, well,
What?
like beating him up, choke
Oh,
slamming
okay.
him.
I thought you meant like hitting on Randy Orton. Like, oh, hold
Mm-mm. And
on.
then Randy Orton was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm a RKO your bitch ass. Caught Kane with the signature RKO.
But
Then,
before that, though, he choke slammed Jane. Kane went off on everybody. He cleaned house. He choke slammed J&J Security. I think he choke slammed Randy Orton, then choke slammed Seth Rollins. But Randy Orton's like, you know what? F you. I'm gonna RKO Kane. But then I'll let you lead into what happened after that, Nelson.
yeah, because mind you, when Kane choke slammed Seth Rollins and Randy Orton, initially he picked up Seth Rollins' hands and tried to like make Seth Rollins pin Randy Orton,
Yeah.
and then that's when he started getting a little bit more frustrated for the tombstone setup, which leading it into Randy Orton's RKO,
Mhm.
which is legal against a superstar. And
Yeah.
then next thing you know, since Randy Orton decided to copy someone else's finisher, Seth Rollins did a random ass RKO out of nowhere.
And it looked good too. It looked good. I will not take that away from him. I'm like, what the heck is this?
And
Mm.
mind you, as I've been saying before, Seth Rollins off camera in the ring, especially in OVW and in Ring of Honor, that kid has a lot of talent.
Hmm.
Talent that you wouldn't even believe to imagine.
It's just his character sucks. I just,
Yeah,
yeah.
the angle that they're going in is really discomforting to a lot of people, but some people like it. They eat the shit out of it. It's whatever. And he beat him with the RKO, and he basically ran out the cage door and won the match.
Retained. Now here's the thing. That match, that the ending of that match, extremely controversial. Extremely controversial. And then it's like, okay, what is Kane doing? I love to see him break off Seth Rollins, but then he helps him, but can't stand the guy. I don't understand.
It's because he's still in story wise in the soap opera version. He doesn't technically want to get fired from the company.
The
He
writers
doesn't
need to
care.
explain what
Yeah,
he's doing because
because he
it's
doesn't care if he becomes a wrestler again, but he doesn't want to be in control of a corporate sense because he doesn't want to seem like he's a letdown to Triple H.
mm, yeah. I think this is going to be an interesting storyline because I just want to see how they end or wrap up this Seth Rollins Kane internal issue because people are like happy that Kane blew up on J&J Security and blew up on Seth Rollins. You know, you see the crowd popping, you know, but it's just what the hell, man? Because it's almost as if I think it's like an undercover plan where Kane does that intentionally to make it look like he's against him, but screws over the person who's trying to get the match or trying to get the belt. You know, it could be all like this sinister plot, and then they'll reveal it at the end and say, "Ha ha ha, we had you all fooled." You know, but they could go any which way with that. So, I mean, I just think that ending was very interesting, very interesting. But we knew Randy Orton wasn't gonna win. You know, like Seth Rollins is supposed to fit this role where he's an undeserving champion. You know, so the prevailing rumor is he's gonna be that type of champion where oh my god, and then when eventually, if and when Roman Reigns get to him, they'll be more accepting of Roman Reigns beating an undeserving champion like that and getting revenge for what happened at WrestleMania. So that's a theory, but you could agree or disagree with that. But I can definitely foresee that happen. What do you think, Nelson?
Yeah, I mean, right now Seth Rollins is at that point in his career where he's gonna have the heel slash champion look for a while, just like how CM Punk did. He was the champion for 400 and something fucking days. I can't really remember. And he was always getting away, whether if he cheated his way out, whether people hated him, or whatever. It's like it's somewhat the same look. And then with what you call it, RKO was only banned for Randy Orton scopes. It wasn't banned for anyone else. So it was just
no, but JBL did make a good point where it's like, okay, if it was banned, it should have been banned for both because J&J Security still got involved in the match. So that should have avoided the whole agreement where, okay, I said your guys couldn't come in, right? Kane was in there. The authority or J&J Security is in there. Okay, fine. I can use my RKO. I think that's what should have happened. But yeah, it was banned supposedly for Randy Orton, and the chips fell where they fell.
Man, it did. I mean, overall, it was still a pretty decent match. It could have gone better. It could have ended better. I always love when things end clean and legit.
Yeah.
But of course, Seth Rollins is making it seem like he's a weak, pathetic little girl.
Yeah.
That he has to call for J&J Security, which is like not even nowhere near his size, and also call for backup with Kane.
What is this, Marvel vs. Capcom 3? Assist me. Like, what the heck? No, win it on your own accord, But I do want to, I guess, an alibi or PSA. JBL got a big pop during the Roman Reigns Big Show match where somebody had wrote on the announce table that Big Show needs to lose weight.
Apparently, it was JBL that wrote that in his notepad. That's why they was chanting his name.
I was just like, are you for real? They're like, Big Show needs to lose weight. Big Show was mad as hell. I was like, hey.
But the thing that made no sense to me is why randomly would he check a notepad?
I don't know, but the crowd ate it up, and they're chanting JBL for that, so I don't know. JBL's retired, but I would love to see him do one more clothesline from hell for Big Show. I mean, that'd be pretty damn cool.
And then let's see, he says that he thinks that he could be a great champion. He definitely has the skills to be a heel, but the thing is, he is a good wrestler if they allow him to fully use his full 100% arsenal. But the thing is, they are banning a lot of his moves because, mind you,
in Ring of Honor, curb stomp is gone.
In Ring of Honor, he was a very dangerous person. Very dangerous person, and He would do a lot of high fly moves. He would do a lot of in ring technical submission moves where it looked like he can rip off your arm or leg. And he did a lot of top rope finishers that were just impressive. But again, WWE has to basically use him more in the mic skills department because he knows how to sell a promo, whether if you hate him or not. This guy knows what he's doing on the mic.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's what they're mainly utilizing him for. And like here and there in a pay per view, he would throw out a random thing, like when he does like that finisher from the top rope, or when he does like a random super kick,
Mhm.
or he unveils like one of his random
Yeah, he
moves that he
slowly
has.
opens up. Yeah, so I think though that his full move set he should save for pay-per-views because he can do that. Like he can switch it on and off. Switch full move set for pay-per-views, WrestleMania or the Big Four, of the year, and just go from there. I mean, I just hate his character, like this whole I gotta win and cheat and all that. Then just makes it hard to accept him, man.
Let's see. Well, Dean was in CZW, and that was a hardcore on roids.
I have to look that up because normally I'm on my wrestling promotions, but that one I have to keep an eye on. All right, Edgy, I'll be checking that out. I'll definitely be checking that
Okay.
out. All right, so
I guess if you want to close it out, you can, cause I'm losing my voice.
yeah, and I'm actually pretty tired myself. But those of you who are watching on the stream, thank you so much, Edgy. Slinky Jim. You guys are excellent supporters. And Edgy, I remember we were talking about having you as a guest. When we do these, we have to restart these talks again because I completely forgot. I'm sorry. I've been kind of busy as of late, but yeah, whenever we do this. I would like to, have a one of our folks from the stream or the chat participating. So, just putting that out there. This week, make sure you check us out on Thursday for our live podcast. So, this week in video game news. All right. I did my Rayman video, but it ran like 3 hours because I had to go back tracking. So I don't know if I'm gonna put the whole video up. We'll see, but there's a lot of good content in there because it wasn't just playing Rayman. I actually did a podcast in it. I had Shin Raven who might be joining us. We have to wait and see, but he was helping me out, and we were talking about Street Fighter 5 different topics. Gears of War 1 remastered. We didn't get to talk about that on the podcast, but I did that on the Rayman video. So tell your friends, leave comments, and well, I'll port it to YouTube so y'all can check it out. But with that, that's all the announcements I have. Do you have any announcements, Nelson, before I do our Juggernaut bitch?
Slinky Jim is like one more thing. Are you mad, bro? He took your
Unbelievable.
catchphrase. Edgy Scope says that he can link it to you. Just either link it in the Facebook or within the Twitter.
Okay.
That'll be wonderful. Out of my announcements, I'm just gonna repeat what I said earlier before you both showed up, and for everyone else that's on YouTube. I am gonna be out of commission for a couple of weeks due to the fact that I had my appendix just recently removed, not even 24 hours ago, and they're putting me on heavy medication, oxycodone mixed with Tylenol, and I'm just like really, really out of it right now. But right now I'm using ibuprofen, and I I am tired as fuck. So just keep in mind that I will still be here, but voice wise only. I won't be streaming Bloodborne or anything else like I normally would do. I had a pretty good thing about to start too with the new overlays that apparently I was ranting and raving on Thursday. But when I get better 100%, I will get back into the groove of things. But Alex and the rest of the team of New Gaming Order will continue on through the remainder of my absence with me visually and actually participating in streams. But I'll be here Thursdays still, voice wise only.
All right. With that, New Gaming Order, thank you for participating and spread this video on Twitter. And shout out to Full Screen, our partner, for definitely helping us out here with our little channel. We could use all the support we can get. We want to expand and become not just New Gaming Order, but New Gaming Network. That's the end goal. So with that, we out like the Juggernaut bitch. We'll see you next time on the New Gaming Order podcast show. Peace.